I hear the dog. Here we go, OG. Good evening, Texas bikers and bikers all across the nation. This is Texas Biker Radio number 409 and Corona Hour number 18. I think I've got that wrong, but what the hell? Who gives a damn? My name is Mel Popeye Moss. My co-host Mel OG Robbins. We are here with you each and every week, and it's all brought to you by Sons of Liberty Riders MC, who are defenders of the Constitution and those who've had their constitutional rights violated. And good evening, OG. How are you doing?
Well, I'm surviving.
OG's preparing his new house, and we got some work to do. Right?
Oh, Lord, yes.
But OG, the other night I came online and hey, look, I came on to YouTube and I said, hey, look, I really want to do a rant, but do I save it for Tuesday night? And I don't know, you guys, I'm really in a mood. OG, are you ready?
Hey, I'm ready. I'm pissed off too. This just goes on and on and on.
That I gotta have something that'll help. Right here in my hand, and it's freaking ice cold, guys. Ice cold. I'm gonna take care of it with my shark opener. Hang on, OG. Right on my keyboard. Right on my keyboard. Hang on, I gotta have a swig. Oh, there was ice in it. Damn, guys, damn.
Oh, that's when it's the best.
I'm telling you. Did you have something to say before I get started here?
Oh, I'm just going to say, socialism is alive and well.
Oh, yeah.
We should be receiving our second round of stimulus checks. They're saying by no later than the end of August, possibly sooner.
Who knows? I guess the two sides have to come together first. One side will blackmail the other. That's the way it works, right?
Right.
Well, OG, before I get started on a tear here, Nads Nadler was in an accident this morning, and I was praying he'd get a lump on his noggin, but no such luck. Evil people go on living forever. It's kind of true what they say about good people die young. Because
only the good die young.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But we have these people, these assholes that was on display today with Attorney General Barr, who were reading from freaking scripts. And every time they got to a point where they'd say yes or no, or don't you agree, or some kind of BS like that, and he started to answer them, they would cut him off and go on reading the script. Now, that's the kind of bullshit we're getting out of our politicians, and especially those that are on the left, who are doing everything they can to destroy Donald Trump's presidency and to destroy this country. They don't give a damn about the people. All they care about is their freaking power. And let me tell everybody, that's the worst kind. Am I right, OG?
Absolutely, but thank God Barr is a cool cucumber.
I'm telling you, he is.
You cannot shake that dude up.
I'm telling you, OG, I'd have been pulling out pistols. I'd be worse than Yosemite Sam if I was treated like that. Like that. They thank him for his service. They thank him for his years as Attorney General and other things that he had done as a judge. And then they start beating the shit out of him. So
now it's been publicized that I think they're going to attempt to. They use the term impeach him.
Mm-hmm.
So they may be getting ready to file articles of impeachment against Barr.
Yeah.
They can't get Trump, so they're going to go after everyone else.
Oh yeah. Hey, look, I don't think it's going to work because
I don't think so.
People are seeing what's going on, and they're not like it. Hey, OG, Ghost Eagle on the chat line, talking about mean people living forever. That's exactly. He said, "Well, I'm going to live forever then."
Yeah.
But man, cool. Okay, OG. Let me get started. I started the other night. I was going to come on and I was going to talk about, the big thing right now is whether kids are going to go back to school. And that, teachers are saying, "Oh my God, we're afraid to go." With the unions are in on it. Everybody, the teachers are going to try all they can do to screw things up. Now it's been proven that the kids are not necessarily vessels of COVID-19. The death rate for children, is really, really, really low unless they have underlying conditions. Now, let me say this, OG. The kids do not need to go back to school, and I'm going to tell you why. And it's not because of COVID-19, the China virus, the coronavirus, whatever damn name you want to put on it. In reality, it is the China virus. They're the one that released it on the world. But let me say this. The kids do not need to go back to school. They don't need to be in the hands of the teachers, these left-wing teachers. They don't need to be in the hands of these school administrators, left-wing, every fucking one of them. They don't need to be in the hands of these school boards. All major cities, their school boards are a bunch of freaking left-wingers. And the prime example is over here in Fort Worth, Texas, where they have a Hispanic school board chairman and a school superintendent. And, he allows left-wingers to come in there and speak, but will not allow any kind of an opposing voice. And what we're seeing going on in the streets right now, what we're seeing playing out in the streets in Oregon and Chicago and all these other places, and even here in Texas, what we're seeing playing out is the results of the freaking educations they're getting and the indoctrination they're getting. You need to keep your kids out of their hands. At the very least, you need to know what the curriculums are that they're teaching. Let me tell you, there's a reason Common Core, there's a big battle going on about Common Core and other left-wing curriculums that our schools are teaching. And they'll use anything and everything to teach their left-wing bullcrap. And like I said, we're seeing the results of it now. We got 2 BLM buses here roaming around Texas with Antifa members in them. And OG, it's just educated morons who've never done anything, who haven't had a job, who doesn't know shit about shit, doesn't know history. And it's crazy. It's crazy. We don't need our children in the hands of these schools any longer. That's what I'm saying.
Based on the courses that are available. Now, I have to tell you here, a few years back, I attended a graduation ceremony in Utah. My daughter, one of my daughters got her bachelor's degree. And, so I was looking through the program, and I couldn't believe some of the degrees that were printed in the program. They were degrees I never heard of.
Yeah.
I mean, way out there in left field, let me tell you. What a waste of time and money to get some of those degrees that, they were figments of someone's imagination. I couldn't even imagine sitting in one of those classes attempting to get some kind of an education, being taught the crap that was attached to those degrees.
Yeah.
And people wonder why these kids graduate with a degree and can't go get a job.
No kidding.
The jobs don't exist that require a degree like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
A waste of time and humanity. Parents should be happy that their children can't go back to school.
They should.
Some of the most frustrating times I had were when my daughters went to college and they'd come home and visit.
Yeah.
And I could tell they had been re-indoctrinated.
Oh, yes.
I mean, even worse than what they received in high school and elementary.
Yeah.
Because they were now questioning the stuff that I had tried to teach them all through their lives, and things that to them were now more socially acceptable.
Yeah.
Like the oddball irregularities that we have now with genders and things like that. They're taught in school that this is a wonderful thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can understand the pressure that some families are under, that parents are under, because now more than ever, both parents are working.
Yeah.
So I can certainly appreciate the issue that they're running into and the pressures that they're running into when they're trying to go to work and they've got a house full of kids.
Yeah.
That need now to be home taught. And I would think there's got to be some resolution for that in some form or other, even if neighbors start getting together, even though, we talk about social distancing, things like that. Maybe a couple of families can get together and trade off teaching all the kids or something. But I can understand the social pressure of people wanting kids to go back to school. And it basically relates back to the fact that both parents are working, and school, let's say it how it is, school has become a babysitter for their children.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but, by the same token, you now have the opportunity to re-indoctrinate your children to the right way of life. And I mean that literally. You think back to when you and I went to school, we said the Pledge of Allegiance every morning. I can remember saying the Lord's Prayer in school. There was a U.S. flag hanging, a small one, but it was in every classroom. And those things are gone. They're gone. And now you've got weird math that's being taught.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you've got crap that is so much in orbit, a parent has difficulty helping their child with homework because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So this is a golden opportunity to strip the teachers of all the propaganda that they've been pushing into your children.
Oh, gee, this is just like I said, at the very least, Well, right now, it looks as if the kids are not going to be going back to school in many states because the teachers are going to try and throw a monkey wrench into everything. Oh my God, we can't go. We're going to die. Blah 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 blah. The average age of a teacher out there is 40 years old. They're they're not going to die, and the ones that are older don't. Hey, look, they can teach through the video system or virtual is what they call it. So they can
Yep.
do that because some schools are going to have both. But what I'm saying is, you need to keep them out of the hands of these socialists that are within your school systems, and you need to know what they're teaching them, and you need to understand it. You need to understand what Common Core is. You need to understand what your school's curriculum is. Even if they says we don't use that system, but they develop one of their own that's just like it. That's just like it. And luckily, I have one grandkid that's a teaching major, going to be a teacher this year, her first year. And I've talked to her about this. Whether it fell on deaf ears, I don't know. But I've always told her, hey, don't teach these kids anything don't teach these kids to hate their country. And that's what we have going on here. We have black kids that are taught to fear the cops. We have black kids that are taught to hate white people. We have white kids that are being taught to hate themselves.
Yep, they're being taught to apologize because they're white and privileged, and to apologize for this country.
Yeah.
I have a sister who was a teacher in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking to her, and she went back and got her master's so she could get into the library system, because teachers with a degree and a certificate for teaching can make more money with a master's degree as a librarian. Now, you can be a librarian in the school system, or it allows you to even go into the public library system, but you make more money. But she couldn't wait to get out of teaching. They've now moved to Knoxville, Tennessee. And she told me, she said, these teachers are nothing but a bunch of left-wing nuts.
Yeah.
She said she couldn't stand to be around them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look at the 2016 inauguration when they were all out there with their vagina hats jumping up and down. The majority of those were teachers. And let me tell you, Mel, some of the guys on the chat line here are talking about it. Many of the Antifa people that have been arrested, guess what? They're teachers.
Yeah.
They're teachers. So this is how long it's been going on. Oh, gee, I first started hearing about Common Core and school curriculums about 10 years ago. Actually, maybe a little longer than that.
I was going to say, I think it's more like 15 to 20.
Yeah. So, but there is a source you can go to. It's called Women on the Wall. Alice Linehan is one of the ladies there that is the leaders in that group. And maybe we'll get her on the show some night to talk about Common Core, talking about these school administrators. And let me tell you, they're the ones that dream up these programs, these curriculums, these school administrators, and they sell them to the schools. They sell them to them. And understand, it's a bunch of crap that's going on. And of course, there are school superintendents who buy these curriculums. And it's kind of just a money circle between them. But at the same time, it's liberal indoctrination. or socialist indoctrination, communist indoctrination, whatever name you want to frickin' put on it. But we're seeing it play out in the streets across this country. And like I said, we've got 2 buses, BLM buses, really pretty buses. They're nice looking. Oh, gee, what if they treated those buses the same way they've been treating these cities? What if these buses were to be set on fire? What if somebody threw bricks through the windows? What if somebody gave them flat tires or something? I'm just saying. And I would think it would be an opportunity for the law, if there is any left, to stop these buses and see what kind of paraphernalia might be on them, whether it be weapons or whatever. I mean, by God, it happens to us bikers, right?
That's right.
Yeah, just for what we're wearing. But I'm just saying, everybody. I'm just saying. I don't want to tell law enforcement how to do their job, but it looks like to me it's pretty freaking simple. You start arresting these pukes. And our legislature needs to meet now to make some laws to handle this bullshit. And our legislature needs to meet now. That's where we're at. That's where we're at. As many problems as we have with law enforcement, as bikers, we take a look out there and with amazement, with freaking amazement, the way we're treated and the way they're being treated. Am I right? What, am I getting feedback here?
You getting feedback?
I hear somebody talking in the background.
That's you.
I know. That's disturbing when I hear myself.
I got you up on the big screen.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's always, that can be a good thing or a bad thing. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's you. That's my head.
Here we go.
You.
You couldn't mute it,
Yeah, I'm looking for the mute button.
So anyway, man, you got the most sensitive mic in America. Wow.
Yeah.
So
volume's at 0.
Yeah. So anyway, here we are. We're taking a look out there. We're seeing what's going on. What happens to us? And it's like Attorney General Barr said today. There's many quotes that he said during that hearing that we can use. And one of them is everybody be treated equally, and we shouldn't have laws for them and laws for us. Well, let me tell you, we've been at the center of that bullseye of laws for them and laws for us.
To lay down that floor.
So, all right, I'm still getting background.
Yeah, we had somebody walk in.
Oh, okay. Hey, look, everybody, soon OG will be in studio with me. We're not going to be hearing any of that.
Yeah.
We're not going to be hearing any of it. Anyway, what my whole point was is the way we're treated and the way we see these Antifa types and BLM types treated. And like I said in the last broadcast, we still got targets on our backs. We still have people before judges across Texas. And, when you look and you see what's going on out there, and these people are arrested and then given bail right away, or even not having to pay any bail, but that doesn't happen for our community. Doesn't happen for us. We end up with our mug shots all over the damn place. We're arrested, and overnight, all of a sudden, there's your mug shot out there. And what'd you do? You may have done nothing. Nothing. So that's where we're at right now. And I would think if we have any law enforcement left that's worth a damn, they would figure out how to handle this. They would figure out how to handle it. They can't be running scared of a bunch of damn kids and a bunch of left-wing zealots. They can't be scared of them. They damn sure not scared of us. And I promise you, there's a lot of bikers out there that are way bigger badasses than these kids. And they can't handle them. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. But like I said last show, we're a safe bet. Because bikers are going to comply, even the 1% club. So we haven't seen it. We haven't seen it yet where they did not comply with what the law has requested. But let me say this, OG. These two buses that are going around, they've been bumping into some walls. Because there's a lot of Texas towns that are not going to put up with this bullshit. And yesterday I heard they were going to Lubbock. So we'll see who joins them out of Texas Tech. If they did, maybe they've already been there and left. Maybe they're headed for Austin tonight for that's safe territory for them. You think?
Are they from out of state?
I think so. I know they're paid protesters that run around Antifa types in these buses. I would be finding out who's paying for these buses. And I would probably pass laws at the federal level that would, anybody that donates to them, anybody that has anything to do with them is in serious trouble. Just my opinion.
Yeah, those buses aren't cheap.
No, they're all painted up nice, BLM on the side of them. I'll send you a picture. And next week, maybe we'll be able to post these pictures as we're talking. I'm working on it. And listen to videos. But OG, let me tell you, you remember General Newsome?
Yes.
Yeah, well, General Newsome of the Not Fucking Around Coalition, they had gone to a rally. Where did I say it was? Louisville. They were going to a rally in Louisville, and they got up there, and they were getting ready to do their thing, and then all of a sudden there was a gunshot. 3 of their men or women were injured. But OG, it turned out to be friendly fire. They shot their own people.
All those experienced veterans.
Yeah. But
now I don't say that to slight a veteran. I say that to slight what that dumbass was trying to tell the public.
Well,
they were comprised of all very seasoned, experienced veterans.
Yeah. And matter of fact is, you guys, you can go to TexasBikerRadio.org and news and comment, click on Zeducation. That's right. I said Zeducation. Z-E-D, education. So you can click on that and see the young man there that's describing what's going on with the general and his troops. And it also shows them handling their weapons, pointing them around at each other. One of them screwing around with a magazine, pointing it at somebody else. So
Now, this is the group that says they're going to come and take
that's
Texas.
the ones that are coming to take Texas, and we're waiting. We're waiting. I'm surprised they're not on one of these BLM buses, or maybe they don't want maniacs on them. But then again, they've got morons on them. Why not invite a few maniacs? Just saying, guys. Actually, Ghost Eagle, the BLM is funding the Democrats. That's how that works. From what I understand, they've collected over $1 billion in pledges from all these companies, Nike, the NFL, and a host of others. So they're collecting the money. No telling where it's going. Probably going to Obama in his dugout. I'm just guessing. But the Not Fucking Around Coalition, and I'm sorry for that word, but that's what they call themselves. Kind of catchy, ain't it? I'm just saying, everybody. I'm just saying. And of course, we know. Let me see. We got a new one, OG, Mother Riding Fool. He said Austin wasn't too safe for one retard who got his ass killed. Yeah, that's true. There's a young man that got himself. He was carrying a rifle, OG, and he pointed it at a guy in a car, and guess what? He got shot. And now he's gone to the next life, but he's left his quadruple amputee girlfriend behind. Just saying, everybody. You shouldn't point a weapon at anybody when not expect that somebody might kill you. I'm just saying. And as far as I know right now, there are no charges against that young person.
As a matter of fact, the police, I think, have withheld the name of the driver of that vehicle.
Yeah. You can't put that out there with all the nuts we have running around the state and around the country. But, I would also need to say, getting back to law enforcement for a minute, they need to be arresting the people that are instigating, the people that are teaching, the people that are propagating this kind of BS that's going on, that we see going on across the country. Just saying, everybody. Just saying.
Well, these protesters should absolutely not be allowed in the streets blocking traffic.
Yep.
All the protests that you and I have participated in,
and
the ones that we have led, we have never done anything like that.
Yeah. And we've done a bunch of them, everybody. We've done a bunch of protests.
And we've done them with small numbers and very large numbers.
Yeah. So, it's it can be done peacefully. And, everything these protests were about, that's been erased. That has been erased because of what they're doing now. But, let me tell you, there is a camp out there that is saying the reason we're seeing all this and the reason we're seeing such fits by the progressive Democrats in Washington, D.C., is because they know they're going to lose and lose big. Now, there's this camp out there that's saying that.
Well, it's pretty obvious. They are desperately trying to ruin the economy of the country right now.
That's out there for everybody to see. There's no secret. They're not being, they're not trying to hide it. And today, like I said, that hearing is a freaking perfect freaking example of it. So, that's where we're at. And like I said, everybody, we've had plenty of problems and still do with police. But you know what? We may have more problems with the courts. And that's what nobody pays attention to. Oh, yeah, the George Floyd thing was bad. That should have never happened to that man. And let me tell you that that was some kind of evil. But then again, we have evil all over the damn place. We have evil in Oregon right now. We have evil, or maybe an evil eagle in Washington, D.C. We have all this stuff going on. And you just wonder where it's going to all end. And it's not going to end anytime soon because they're going to throw fits. You're talking about demonstrations. There's going to be demonstrations out the wazoo when Trump wins in November. And they're going to be saying, hey, look, he rigged the election. He did this. He did that. He did this. And that's the stage they're setting right now. Saying he's going to refuse to leave. And then Nancy Pelosi, the chief bitch. And I'm sorry, YouTube, and I'm sorry, Facebook, but that's just the damn truth. You can't listen to a thing she says and not know it's a lie. You can't listen to a thing Chuck Schumer says and not know it's a lie. You can't listen to a thing Nadler says and not know it's a freaking lie. He said Antifa is a myth. Antifa's just a friendly protest. They're trying to be friendly, but the police are pissing them off, especially the feds, who are trying to keep them from destroying the building. It's that simple.
Well, they killed that retired cop here not too long ago, attacking a federal building.
Yeah.
Where was it? I mean, it was in Missouri, wasn't it?
Yeah. A black guy.
I would say the federal government has every right in the world to send federal law enforcement out to protect the federal courthouses.
It was a black guy, OG, a black guy, but his life didn't matter.
That's right.
And probably killed by some white kids. I'm just saying. I don't know. I don't know whether they caught his killer or not. I'll look it up tonight, see what happened. Because now my interest is piqued about it. But man, what a mess.
Now another potential tinderbox is going to be next June, because that's when that ex-officer, goes to trial over the death of Floyd.
Yeah. Oh, but wait a minute, OG. Those other three guys, they're going to walk. I'm not saying they're going to walk.
I believe they will.
Yeah. I didn't mean it like I said it. They're going to walk off of something. But because if you go look at the transcript of their body cams, it's a whole different story. George Floyd asked to get out of the car. And when he started trying to do what he asked, because he said he couldn't breathe, he started kicking at him, carrying on. So there's a whole nother side to this thing that we haven't heard yet. It's out there. That transcript is. But it's in my view, after listening to that these guys are not in as much trouble as I thought they were. Now, the one that had his knee on his neck, that's another thing. You got a comment on that?
Yeah, that's pushing it further than it should have been.
Mm-hmm.
They certainly could have restrained the guy you know, better and with less danger to his physical well-being than, you know, sitting there. I mean, he looked pretty smug with his hand in his pocket
Mm-hmm.
and a knee on the neck.
Yeah.
And that just should have never been.
Yeah. Yeah. The visual of that is probably going to hang him pretty good, although there is no death sentence there. So that's not going to happen. Just saying.
He's dead meat.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know where he goes to state or federal prison, where he goes, where he'll go to. I guess a lot of it depends on that, right?
Well, I mean, even, that's, now no federal charges have been brought. So in all probability, it'll remain a state issue.
Mm-hmm.
However, he's also going to have to be in protective custody for whatever length of sentence he has. They don't dare put him in with the general population.
Yeah.
Because they'll kill him.
Yeah. Oh, man. Let me see. We're finally going to get around to it, the damn China virus. Now, we're hearing today that, hey, look, so there's new studies. I mean, how many lives could, if they hadn't just jumped all over hydrochloroquine because the president mentioned it? I wonder how many lives that would have saved. Because now there's studies coming out and saying, hey, we shouldn't have done that. It should have been
not
used
so
in the
bad
fight.
after all.
Yeah, yeah. So, and there were some people that were talking yesterday that said she and her husband both had it, COVID-19, and they had they got hold of their doctor, and he got some doses of hydrochloroquine for them. And the key to it is, OG, is not to over prescribe it, not to overuse it, because when you do, it becomes toxic. But so does any other drug. So does any other drug. They all can become toxic when you use too much of it. So you should use it in small doses, especially if you have underlying conditions. But it works, OG. It works. So I don't know.
Well, I can definitely see where if you take too much of it, it could kill you, and it would be toxic because it's basically a medication intended to kill parasites in your blood.
Uh-huh.
It's a medication for malaria.
Right.
And a lot of people may not realize what malaria consists of, but basically you have a mosquito that basically injects this parasite into you when they're sucking your blood. Mm-hmm. And this parasite ends up as a bunch of eggs floating around in your blood. And when they hatch, they start to clog your blood vessels and your arteries. So the medication is used to basically kill the parasites.
Yeah. Yeah.
And obviously, you take too much of it, it's going to be toxic. So you've got to take the right dosage.
Yeah. Hey, OG.
But it makes.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say it makes sense that it would work against COVID because COVID is a virus that's floating around in your blood. It's a foreign body.
Yeah.
So it makes perfect sense that type of medication would attack COVID.
But not according to Neil Cavuto on Fox News and CNN, who said if you take it, you're going to die. If you take it, you're going to die, especially if you have a heart condition. And none of that was really true. They're not damn doctors or scientists or anything else. They're news commentators. They're not even that. They're propagandists, is what they are. The best thing we all could do is tune out, except for this show. We can tune out and not come back on till November 3rd when we go vote to watch the victory party. That's what we all can do if you don't want to hear the bullshit and everything else that's going on. But one thing we all need to do, I talked about the other night, is unity in our community. That means no matter what happens out there, us guys that are in motorcycle clubs, us guys that ride motorcycles, us guys that love motorcycles, we stick together. We stick together, especially going toward this next legislative session. It's time for us to start putting boots on the ground and do the things it takes to work on the things that we're concerned about, like gang databases and the motorcycle profiling. Understand that you can end up in a gang database even if you're not a 1% club member. We have personally experienced that in our club. We have no idea how or why these people were put in there. No idea. We've done a survey and we can't find anyone that has successfully got their name out of a gang database. Nobody. We have tried to contact the IG of the DPS, that's who handles it here in Texas. And we can't even get an answer from them. Not even, screw you. They feel they don't have to. They operate in secrecy. And
the only way.
Yeah.
The only way you can stop this crap is you have to do the same thing they did in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Because they run this so secretively, and they won't disclose how they gather the information. They won't disclose who takes the information and inputs it, who makes the decisions. They won't disclose any of that. And the only way you can bring this to a grinding halt is to file a lawsuit, just like they did in Chicago.
Yeah.
Because, contrary to what a lot of people feel out there, we can push all kinds of legislation to try and put Band-Aids on this to stop profiling and stuff like that. But the problem is that gang database still exists.
Yeah.
And let's not forget, Governor Abbott, about a year ago or a year and a half ago, put the word out to DPS that he wanted names added to that criminal gang database.
Yep.
They had to puff up their stats so they could get federal funding.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what goes on. I mean, it's all about the money usually.
Yeah.
That's what this has been all about. And somewhere, someone's got to be able to start a lawsuit because that'll bring it to its knees.
Yeah.
Because what happens is the attorney files a lawsuit and then you start having depositions. And that means you subpoena people from DPS in to a deposition and they're asked questions. They don't like that and they shut the database down.
Yeah.
Because it's going to disclose too much dirty laundry.
Right. In Cook County, it was the ACLU that helped them out. But, we're not a protected class, not us bikers. So we're just hanging out there for them to do what they will when they want to. That's the reason you hear me complain so much about being taken to bikers that are being taken to jail for what they were wearing. And where a cop told one biker, "I'm fixing to take you to jail." He was in a grocery station. A grocery station, gas and groceries. The cop's coming out. "I'm going to take you to jail." He turned around and looked at him and says, "Why?" "For what you're wearing. For what you're freaking wearing. I'm going to take you to jail because you didn't put on a turn signal. I'm going to take you to jail because you stopped over the white line." And this stuff really happened, guys. Really happened.
Well, what about the biker up near the Denton area that got thrown in jail because he failed to turn on his signals to turn into his driveway?
His driveway, everybody. How chicken shit is that? This is the kind of stuff we run into. And yet we see out there these privileged punks that are destroying whole cities. Now, OG, what would happen to us if we decided we wanted to run out here to Parker County and just burn the damn place down?
Oh,
I mean, come on, guys. This is the reason
immediately arrested, thrown in jail, and $1 million bond.
What the hell? And that has happened to us. Not to me in particular, but within our community here in Texas. Whether you be a 1% or no percent or whoever. But we had over almost 200 people, well, right at 200 people there at Twin Peaks that were taken to jail for what they were freaking wearing. And just people they didn't like. Based on lies and innuendos. And so that's where we're at. Master's Workshop says, "I'll hop on my bike and bring a flamethrower." I wouldn't broadcast that, buddy. But I wish I had one. That'd be a cool tool. Just saying. I could add it to my arsenal. But wow, OG, wow. Now, one other last thing I wanted to cover, OG, is that, with what happened this last weekend, can bars open safely? Can they really open safely? And from what I saw, the pictures, we did finally get pictures of inside the rail club. And I will post them in TexasBikerRadio.org. You'll be able to see it in the morning. I want to post those pictures that were taken inside the rail club, who were trying to open up, trying to make some money, trying to do anything they could to soften the blow that's happening to them here in Texas, where they've been told to shut down, while other places that serve alcohol and food and liquor stores and everything else are okay to go. They're open. And let me say this, OG, with all the spread that's going on, this is spread by some other way than just covering your mouth. Because, a lot of the people, I look out there, probably 3/4 of the people out there are actually complying. Or at least when they go into these these facilities. They're actually complying. They're actually trying. But I see people touching the same doorknobs. I see people touching the same cup lids whenever they go into a place to get a soda, one with ice. I see all this stuff going on. Nobody wearing gloves. I'm just saying, OG, could it be more than just covering your face? What do you think? Have they got it wrong again?
Oh, hell yeah. There's some real mysteries out there where people have contracted it and there's no explanation. I just think some people are more susceptible. Mm-hmm. I think this thing is, in my opinion, this thing is just like the flu, influenza. Mm-hmm. Some people more readily get it. Lord only knows how you can contract it. Maybe you walk through a patch of air that has droplets lingering.
Yeah.
And it's just the luck of the Irish, I think it always has been a mystery, and it will remain a mystery as to how the hell you get it.
Looks like it to me.
And it still remains. There are fewer deaths with COVID than there are annually with influenza. It still appears, I'm sure there are some exceptions, but it still appears that most of the people that are affected the most have underlying health conditions. And if they got the regular flu or a cold or pneumonia, it would probably take them out too.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. OG, let's say hi to a few people on the chat line. There's Matters Workshop, Mueller Riding Fuel, I think, Fool, Alice Nelson. Brain Damage is here. He's always he's always good for a comment or two. In God We Trust. Yeah. Guns are back up. That's what he said. Yeah. And Ghost Eagle. Yeah. Yeah. And so, hey, you guys, thank you for joining us each and every week. We appreciate it. We do appreciate it. Hey, look. Maybe next week we should start with the biker stuff first, Mel. But listen, everybody, there's not a lot going on out there because really, the biker clubs, everybody else is really trying all they can to comply with all this coronavirus stuff. There really are. There's not a whole lot of things going on. There's not a whole lot of meetings. There's not a whole lot of anything. There's even not
a lot of events have been canceled.
That's right. There's not even a whole lot of fighting. Just saying, everybody. Just saying. So, that's where we're at. That's where we're at. Of course, we're not here to pit one club against the other. We hope everybody works out their problems that they might have with each other. And let me take care of that. There we go. We're still here. So hey, look, that's where we're at. We are so glad you subscribe to this channel and help us pass the word. We do what we do here is we comment on the news of the day. And, we're proof that bikers are more than just pretty faces. Well, there was silence on that one, OG. But everybody, have a great week. Have a great weekend. We will be back on if something happens that we feel that we've got to get out there. And there'll be also some videos I'm working on that are going to be posted. Stay tuned, everybody. There's going to be more stuff coming at you. Oh, and I have not started the veterans thing yet. We were running about a week behind. And let me tell you, here in Texas, It's either been hotter than hell, or we had rain today, and man, is it humid. It's a killer, just figuratively speaking. What I'm with that, everybody, have a good week, a great weekend. And like I said, we'll be back if something pressing needs to be said to you.
And above all, stay healthy.
That's right. Ride safe, everybody. Ride safe. This is Popeye and OG.
Good night.
Say good night. Bye-bye.